Ceremonies Committee.
Thank you, folks. Welcome back. Let's go to our next story. You know, this must be good news for pregnant mothers in our country. You know, in a bid to tackle maternal mortality, the federal government has announced free Caesarean sections from now on. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, made the announcement at the ongoing three-day Nigerian health sector review in Abuja. So according to him, this step is one of the long-term plans of the federal government to reduce incidents of maternal mortality among pregnant women across Nigeria. The first stroke, it is said, is half the battle, BKO.
Yes, and I think this is a good move. I just pray that they will be able to implement it successfully. We've had a lot of good things from government in the last couple of years. The devil is always in the implementation. Some of those things you hear and then you wait and wait to see it implemented. Sometimes implemented in a very difficult manner that ensures that more and more of the people who should benefit do not even get to benefit. The eligibility criteria sometimes disqualifies the people for which the policy was designed.
Yeah.
You now find that those who ought not to benefit are the people who actually, in our country, you have to know someone. You have to know someone for any favor to be done.
Yeah.
To you. It's a
Even
crazy
when it is your right.
You have to know people. So now, if you look at the mortality rate, the maternal infant mortality rate of our country, you can then understand why this is a good move by the coordinating Minister of Health. Out of every 1,000 live births, 53.6 deaths are recorded. And this figure shows that we have even improved. How is because when you look at the figures of 2017, 19, even up to 2020, you see that there is even improvement. It used to be much worse than this. And the maternal mortality is the number of women who die from pregnancy-related cases while pregnant or within 42 days of pregnancy termination. Within 42 days.
Before the D-Day.
Within 42 days of the birth of the
expected day of the delivery.
Within 42 days of the birth. That's the termination. You know, the pregnancy is no longer there. Now, there are some sicknesses that women experience shortly after birth. Some are even mental related. You know. Some of these ailments predispose women to untimely death. Some of them because of this kind of problems. The Caesarean section is extremely expensive.
It is.
In some places, they will take as much as 400,000 from you to do CS, 400,000. Now, what it means is that if you cannot afford it, you then prepare to die. And the minister said, no mother deserves to die just because she wants to give birth to a child. So this is a good move. I believe that if it is properly implemented, we have to watch to see how they will implement this. We have to try and see whether they will truly target the very vulnerable in our society. Then the eligibility criteria. Is government going to extend it to hospitals run by states? Because if you are saying across our country, the Caesarean section is now free. Are you talking about federal government-owned hospitals?
Or state-owned?
Or are you going to put state-owned hospitals in the mix? Are you going to get the private hospitals involved? Because a lot of people actually use private hospitals.
Yeah.
So if you are saying in our country, cesarean section is free, that means...
Considering also that professionals are not there anymore.
They are there, but we don't have enough.
And not enough. Not enough.
At least our medical colleges are still churning out.
Okay. Surgeons.
Doctors, surgeons, dentists, and all that. So, but what I want to know, this story was done out of a post on X. I'm always tempted to say Twitter. A post on X. There is no flesh in the story, but you can see conviction. We want to address this matter of maternal mortality. So, how will the change be implemented? I want to see the full range of the implementation. Who are the people to benefit? What is the eligibility criteria that you want to use?
Yeah.
If it is stiff, then it is our duty as journalists to say you must relax this eligibility criteria if you want to cover as many people as possible. If you do not cover as many women as possible, the program will not have the right impact. It is the very vulnerable, the people who cannot afford it, that this thing should be meant for. So I'm actually wondering, is it merely for, can it be assessed, is it going to be assessed in federal government-run hospitals alone?
I expect I expect, Asuko, you expect the minister to break this down.
Yeah.
But I was going to add, antenatal is very key here, so that many pregnant women across my country would rather not go have this periodic check.
I think it's very vital. Like you are saying that before, we need to know the criteria first, because is it going to be for the vulnerable, that is those who don't have money at all, or just going to be open for everybody? Because if it's open for everybody, it means we are expecting the population to increase. That is what it means. So are we ready for it? Because if
an explosion.
Exactly. So we need to also look at that. But right now, I think it's a very fantastic idea, because I know so many people who, out of childbirth, they pass on.
Yes.
I know at least 2 prominent people who went for childbirth. And not even in this country, outside, they went for childbirth and they passed on.
Yes.
So it's
Remember
not
the great Tunji Oseni? The journalist. Who later worked at OPEC. That was how he lost his wife.
So I know of one actress that also died because of this too. So if they are going to bring this to make it free for people, we will need to have obstetricians who will be trained properly trained.
My elementary knowledge about these things would tell me, it is said when a woman's cervix is too small for the fetus, you will need.
So that is where you need the C-section. So it means that the right people have to be attending to these women.
Obviously,
you understand. Obviously. So that you can give them the right advice. Then also give them, psychologically, you need to prepare their minds. And then those hospitals, because it shouldn't just be all hospitals. There should be some hospitals who should be carrying out this, operation. Because, for instance, you can't go and say, okay, all hospitals start doing CS, and the hospital doesn't even have a generator. They don't have light. So when it comes to any facility at all, at the end of the day, we now have another big problem in our hands. Because sometimes this, why most of them even pass on, is when there's too much bleeding. And then infection. That's very important. Because after this years, somebody has to.
I lost my.
To
remember my brother now. I was second to the last born. We lost his wife.
Wow.
During childbirth, and the baby is still alive.
Wow.
Baby is still alive. It happened in 2015.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but let's add here, yes, God can do miracles, but please listen to your doctor as well.
very, very important. Because
Like, you know where I'm coming from now.
Yeah, yeah.
yes, of
And you
course.
know this. You don't see. We also need to build a lot more primary health centers, so that the ailments for which people are going to tertiary health institutions for, they can be handled.
Yeah.
Do you know the distance that some people cover just to get to the next health facility? Because we are not building enough. So every political ward should actually have a PHC. Yes, every political ward should have a PHC. But what do we have?
Okay. All right. I hope the viewer understands that here, ours is to look at a story, look at the dynamics and mold opinion and allow